check, check, check. Today we begin with some words that Matthew Yatsetti put together for us, who often joins us on Sundays, but who lately has been working very hard as an organizer in California for labor rights. He's also worked on healthcare issues with us. He's also an artist who creates beautiful jewelry and a musician, and we're grateful for the many ways that Matthew has and continues to contribute to our collective wisdom and capacity to do justice, even when he's not able to be physically in the room with us. So I'd like to remind everyone today and acknowledge that the state of Arizona is situated upon the homelands of many tribal nations. There are a total of 574 federally recognized tribes. Obviously, there's more than just the federally recognized ones. 22 of those nations are here in Arizona. Phoenix resides on the ancestral homes of the Hohokam, and the land that we worship on is now the homelands of the Akimel Otham and Peepash, or otherwise known as the Gila River and Salt River Pima Maricopa people. The ancestors of indigenous communities throughout Arizona helped build the foundation of this beautiful state. From the canals, irrigation systems, to trails and roads, the lives of those who have been here and are still here played and still influence a large part of daily life in Arizona. And unfortunately, as you all, I hope, are aware, there's deep-rooted history of colonization and genocide that has had a detrimental effect on indigenous people, their land, and their languages. Many people who live in the Southwest are unaware of that history, but Arizona consists of almost 500,000 indigenous voices, thoughts, and ideals. These peoples continue to thrive, educate, and advocate for the strengthening of indigenous ways of life. So we challenge you to educate yourself about the history and the communities who continue to thrive today. Moving forward, it is vital to honor and respect that you were always on indigenous land. And it is my prayer that this year we will find ways to build and begin to build meaningful relationships and solidarity with indigenous communities. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome to Valley Unitarian Universalist Congregation and to our annual Cornbread Communion. I'm Melanie Clunan-Schulte, she, her, and this is one of my favorite of our community rituals. It's also a ritual in many other UU congregations around the country, and if you go online, you can see how some of those other UU congregations celebrate their Cornbread Communion. This is a multi-generational service, and there are some activity centers over here for kids of all ages. They're set up with some crafts, and I believe Reverend Sarah even made some Mad Lib prayers. So kids will be staying put, not going to their classrooms today.
And you don't have to be a kid to do a Mad Lib prayer. Just saying, if you want to sneak over there and grab a page.
Well, that's why I said
you can
kids
write.
Of all ages.
That's right.
A special welcome if you are joining us for the first time today. And if you'd have the courage to stand, would you do so so that we could greet you warmly? There's always a welcome circle after the service where you can get to know some of our members better. Usually it's over here, but today we have so many activities going on that it's going to be in that flex room. So if you just go over there, Doug Nitzel, can you stand up so they can see who you are? He'll be in there waiting so that you can learn more about us. And then please feel free to stay. We have a lot going on today. It's Recognition Sunday, and you'll hear more about that later. There's also a volunteer recognition fair going on after the service, so I hope everyone sticks around for so many fun activities today. Also, for the new people, we'd love it if you would sign in using that QR code that you see up there. Well, this Sunday, pastoral care will be provided by Janet Cantley here in the sanctuary. Janet will be up at the front afterwards. And then online, Claudette Wassel will facilitate the after Zoom meeting rooms, and also can be reached at pastoralcare@vuu.org. That's also how to reach the team throughout the week, by the way. And speaking of our online contingent, let's wave to the members and friends that are joining us via live stream. Wave up at that camera. Our members and friends support and assist each other when meals or other assistance is needed, and if you are going through a transition or want to contact the Caring Neighbors team, you can do so at caringneighbors@vuu.org. And now, what do you think, Reverend Sarah? Should we light the chalice?
Yes, and I believe I had a young person or more that was going to help me. Is Julia going to come up with these special words and help me do the hand motions? There she is. She also likes to prove every Sunday that she is going to be taller than me, or perhaps already is. Thank you, Julia, for keeping me humble. Okay, so we are the Unitarian Universalists, open towards you, who put love at the center of our lives. As we light the chalice today, may the flames remind us to receive the gifts with thankful hearts and share our gifts with open hands. Excellent. Would you like to light? Pull it hard. Here. Here, let me grab it for a sec. Here, put it together. Excellent. Good work. Rejoice. Rejoice with full hearts, beloved people of blessing. Rejoice. May this time of worship celebrate what we know at our core. Blessings are real and ours to claim and radiate. Blessings are abundant and ours to revel in and pass along. Blessings are transformational and ours to be challenged by as we grow towards the faith we know we can be. Rejoice.
This is one that you might find familiar even from your childhood. This is "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." If you're able to stand and would like to join us, we would love for you to do so.
Tis a gift to be simple.
Tis a gift to be free. Tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight, when true simplicity is gained. To bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round. One more time. One, two, three. 'Tis a gift to be simple. 'Tis a gift to be free. 'Tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight.
Well, last weekend, our new Faith Formation Director wasn't able to be with us, and this weekend they are. So I wanted to invite Wilblis Kim to come forward just so you could greet them and they could greet you. And you've seen something published about them in our weekly newsletter, a little message from them. And so this is Wilblis Kim. Welcome. So they've had some family loss this week, so it's a tender time. But do you want to just say hello?
Hi, my name is Will Bliss, and I'm just really glad to be here today and introduce myself to all of you. I have really enjoyed being here so far and look forward to growing and building with you and, bonding with you all. So I'm stoked.
Welcome. Warm welcome. Thank you. And we have a special storyteller today.
And anybody who would like to come on down and sit up close. Though the table is kind of in the way. Who's coming on down? Oh, I mean, I know I'm not as interesting as Mad Libs and coloring sheets. And So before I go to the story, so our story, as you can see on the title, is Salmon Boy, which is a Native American tale or indigenous tale from the Haida people. This is from the western coast of British Columbia up into Alaska. And there are some fascinating things in terms of that culture's beliefs with salmon that I'm going to share first. Did you know salmon are part of the spiritual and cultural identity for many indigenous peoples? For some tribes, the longhouses and churches on their reservations and ceded areas rely on salmon for their religious services. The annual salmon return and its celebration by some indigenous peoples assure the renewal and continuation of human and all other life. Historically, some indigenous people were considered wealthy because of a flourishing economy based on salmon trade. Salmon and the rivers they use are part of some indigenous people's sense of place. It is believed that the Creator put them where the salmon return, and so these indigenous peoples feel they are obliged to remain and protect that place and the salmon. For some indigenous people, salmon has been the primary food source for thousands of years and continues to be an essential aspect of their nutritional health. For some indigenous peoples, the annual return of the salmon allows the transfer of traditional values from generation to generation. Without salmon returning to our rivers and streams, some indigenous peoples believe they themselves would cease to exist. And finally, salmon are an indicator species. As water becomes degraded and fish populations decline, so too will the elk, the deer, roots, berries, and medicines that sustain us all. So those are some of the really fascinating but also very deeply held cultural beliefs from the Haida people regarding the salmon and many other tribes as well. And now we know what's going to happen next. Once upon a time, a long time ago, but not in a galaxy far, far away. You say that with me one day. There was a boy who lived among his people, the Haida people, near the western coast of what we now call British Columbia and up into Alaska. And despite his parents' teaching, he was a very stubborn child, maybe like somebody holding a microphone who had very red hair once upon a time before age kind of took that away. And he was not always very nice. He was not always very appropriate. And his mother, though, once trying to show him love and trying to teach him gratitude, made him a copper necklace that she put around a rope and tied to his neck. This is a very important detail. Please do not forget that. It will come back later. And the parents tried to teach him about the salmon, about the importance of the salmon to their tribe and to the very existence of all life. But the boy just didn't care. He was a young child. He would forgive him for that. But come dinner time, one of the traditions, one of the ways that you gave thanks to the salmon for giving their life for yours is that you were to put all the bones back into the river so that the circle of life could continue. But the boy didn't care. One year, or one particular day, the young boy didn't want to eat dinner. He wanted to go play with the rest of his friends at the river. So the mom put the salmon in front of him. He said, "This is no good. It's moldy. It's gross." And he threw the salmon on the ground, and he went off to play with his friends. But the moment that he stepped into the river, he was swept away by an unexpected current. He was dragged down to the bottom of the river, and no matter how hard he tried, he could not find his way back to the surface, and he drowned. But he found himself suddenly surrounded by salmon. And they ushered him back down deep into the ocean. And it turns out that there's a spirit within the salmon called the salmon people. And they had taken them back to their village deep in the ocean to teach him of the importance and of the importance of the salmon and that the existence of the salmon people, so that he may one day return to his people and be able to share their story. And so the boy sat with them, and he was ready to listen and to learn. Come next year, when it's time for the salmon run, the boy who now belonged to the salmon went with them. He went back to that very same river as salmon do, and he was caught in a net, and he was dragged ashore. The woman that caught this fish lugged him back to the village, and she was set to begin cleaning the fish. She saw a copper pendant and a rope tied around his neck and realized it was her own son. She cradled him and she held him and she sung traditional songs to him. And over a period of 8 days, this boy began to shed his salmon skin. First, his head appeared, and the copper necklace back around his neck where she had once put it. Then his arms, then his torso, and finally, on the 8th day, he was a human boy once again. And he knew what he had been sent back to do. He told all of the people about the salmon, of all his people, about the salmon people, about the spirits that give their body to us in the form of salmon so that we can live. And then he told especially the children, and looking for that one stubborn child like he had once been, how important it was to put every single bone back to the river so that the circle of life could continue. And he talked and he told all the stories and everything that he had learned over that year. But when the next salmon run came, it was time for him to return to his new people. He walked down into the river. He turned and looked one last time at his mother and his people, and he went back to his salmon form, swam back out to the ocean, and was never seen in those parts again. And that is the story of the salmon boy and the salmon people. And what I love about this story is how it teaches us to be grateful for the food and the things that we do receive from nature, and the importance of making sure that we do anything we can in order to allow that circle of life to continue. Thank you.
We give thanks? This is We Give Thanks.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. For gathered here and far away, for this time we
I'm Reverend Sarah Oglesby Dunnigan, the settled minister here. My pronouns are she, they. And today we are exploring how gratitude nurtures us by asking us to respond to it by taking care of the earth and being generous with others. One of the ways that we can do that is by honoring indigenous people's wisdom, the gifts of the land. When we pay attention to these gifts, gratitude grows. And gratitude calls us to respond by caring for the land and being generous to others. So I'm going to invite you all to be part of an activity or a conversation. It's built on the wisdom of indigenous people's gardening techniques. Long ago, many tribes cared for the land in ways that were sustainable and respectful, growing food in harmony with nature. So I wonder if anyone out there has ever heard of the Three Sisters. Okay, do I have any children who've heard of the Three Sisters? Okay, I have a couple of hands over there. So, as you all may know, this is the way that we plant some things together because they have some reciprocity. So they planted corn, beans, and squash, and those were called the Three Sisters. And now they did that because corn grows tall, and the beans climb up the corn stalk. And the beans also put nitrogen in the soil to feed the corn. And then the squash grows wide with big leaves that shade the ground, keeping it moist and keeping weeds away. And each one helps the others thrive. They are stronger together than they could ever be alone. So this kind of wisdom teaches us that gratitude is not just about saying thank you, it's about taking care of each other in the earth so that everyone can grow and be nourished. So many of you might have seen there's pieces of paper around the room, some on the ends of the aisles. Does everybody have one? And if you don't, maybe pass them around or down the aisle so each person has one. Each of those has one of the three: squash, beans, or corn. And they each represent something different. So corn represents strength. And there's a question that goes with it. What is something in your life that gives you strength, and how can you show gratitude for it? Beans represent connection. Who helps you to grow by connecting with you, and how can you give back to them? And the third one is squash. What protects or cares for you, and how can you protect and care for the earth or someone else? And does anyone still need a piece of paper? Okay, there's more up at the front and on the sides if you didn't get one. So I'm going to invite you now, if there's somebody who received the corn that would like to answer that question. What is something in your life that gives you strength, and how do you show gratitude for it? Yeah, then just say your name and go for it.
My name is Jay.
Yeah.
My name is Jay, and what gives me strength is my wife, Beth, who is sitting up front. And I love her every day.
Ah, beautiful. You can tell us about corn or another one? Go for it.
My name is Valerie, and what gives me strength is marginalized people in the LGBTQ community for having the courage to show up every day. And what I do about it is become an active ally.
Awesome. Thank you, Valerie. Anybody have beans? Want to say something about connection and who helps you grow by connecting with you and how you give back to them? This is how I get my steps in every day, y'all.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joel. I have beans. What connects me? Who helps you grow by connecting with you? I just look at all the people in this congregation that I've come to know over the years, and I know so many other people who are lonely and don't have connections, and I'm so grateful for the friends I have in this community.
Anyone else want to speak to beans? Come down to you, Linda.
My name is Linda, and I, when growing up, had an Aunt Janet who really, really helped me grow, and I give back to her because when, on the last day I said goodbye to her when she had pancreatic cancer and was dying, I told her that as long as I'm alive, you will always be alive, and that's how I feel about it.
Over here. Over here? Someone over here wanted to share. Who was it? Was it you, Riley? Did you want to share? Huh? I don't know what you're asking me.
I said, can I do one that gives me strength?
Yeah. We're going to go back to corn for a moment, which is fine.
My name's Riley, and what gives me strength is my mom and dad, normally.
Beautiful. How do you share gratitude for them? How do you let them know that you're thankful for that?
I stay with my mom if she's sick or something, or if she has a seizure.
Okay, you help take care of her when she needs to be taken care of. Beautiful. Anyone else? Okay, I got one over here. We're going to move to squash after this one, although I see you just pop up and do whichever one.
What gives me strength is VUU. When I came here, there was no one who looked like me. And now I feel at home, and I feel that more people who look like me will be coming here because this is a great place to come to.
Thank you, Beverly. How about protection, or whatever you're about to say? Lil.
Yeah, I do have the protection. I have the squash. My name's Lil. Sorry, I feel like I'm being rude with my back to you. And what makes me feel, I have lived a life where I haven't felt very protected. And what makes me feel protected is my fiancé, Bill.
Oh. And how can you protect and care for the earth or someone who cares for you?
Yes, well, I consider Bill what Bill needs instead of just taking from Bill. I try to do things that help him, but we also compost together. We both work remote, so we don't drive very much, and we garden and things like that. So.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, friends, we're going to do something that is probably not advised, but we're going to do it anyway, because we like to live on the edge around here a little bit, right? I'm going to invite you to visit with some of the other folks in the room about the answers to these questions. You can get up and move around, or you can stay and let people come to you. Pick one that you want to share about. It doesn't have to be the one that you got the piece of paper for, but that might help you remember it. They're on the screen, so you can read from there. Just take a few minutes to share with each other and greet each other. Maybe share your name if it's somebody you don't know, but feel free to actually, I don't normally give you permission to just like stand up and run amok, but like go ahead, run amok a little. Meet some people. We'll call you back with a song. You people on the stage can talk to each other too. All right, this section requires some help from some of the young people in the room. We're going to be setting a table together. So hidden in this room are some of the elements for setting this table. And I'm going to ask you to look for these and bring them up to the front. Hopefully some of the kids in the room can help us. But if you're an adult and you found one, you can bring one up too. Some of these are more fragile than others, and all have been shared with us today, either by members or through our shared kitchen. So as we set the table with each element for our sharing today, if you have a memory of a person or an element related to our setting the table, let me know, and I'll let you tell that story. We're looking for a tablecloth. There might even be two. If you have a tablecloth, do we have a young person who might be willing to ferry the tablecloth up to the front? Come on over here. And some napkins, I believe. That's got the napkins. Perfect. So bring those forward and you can help get them on the table. Does anybody have a story about a special tablecloth or a special table or a special something involving a tablecloth and table? And while we're thinking about that, the next thing we're looking for are candles and candelabras. I'm going to have you pass this down to Debbie.
Debbie and I go and spend Thanksgiving with our youngest, Bonnie, and her family, and our son-in-law's family for the last several years. And Tyler, our son-in-law, his parents have this tradition of, at Thanksgiving, having people sign their names and the dates, the year, and what they're thankful for. And it's been going on for 20 plus years on the tablecloth. And the tablecloth keeps getting more and more signatures on it, more and more dates, and more specificity of thanks, including when the kids were much, much younger. So it's great to read on the tablecloth what people were thankful for 20 years ago.
Wow.
And what they're thankful for 10 years ago, and what they're thankful for this year. It's really, really cool tradition.
If you hear something you want to borrow, go for it. That sounds fun. I think I want to do that. Anybody have a story about candles or tablecloths? Or go ahead, whatever story just came to you.
So when I grew up, my mother is Canadian, and she had a tablecloth from her great-grandmother that we used every day. Was all hand crocheted. It was from the 1800s. So she would always bring her mother to our Thanksgiving dinner and everyone else in her family from that generation. So it was really, really got you to think a little different, that it's not about this generation, that there were other generations before your generation contributing. So now I'm using that tablecloth as, I hate to say it, a bedspread. Okay.
It's still getting used, however that works. There's some plates out there somewhere too, and I think some silverware. If you know where the plates and silverware are. I think the silverware is in a plastic thing. Excellent. Anybody have any stories about plates, silverware, candles, other elements of our table setting, or of being at a table for a holiday? Pass this back to Barb.
So my mother had a set of china that had ivory on it, and dark green ivory leaves on them, and we use them every year at every special dinner, not just Thanksgiving. And I always thought they were kind of ugly, but when it came time to distribute my parents' things, everybody else said no. And my nephew said he would like to have them. He's not married. He doesn't have family other than his parents yet. And he stored them in my brother's basement. And then my brother's home was destroyed in the fire outside of Louisville, Colorado, 4 years ago. And so all of that's gone. And yet the idea of the family gathering around the table. We did that last year in their new home in Denver, and it didn't seem to matter that we didn't have the china. It was, the family was still getting together and still caring for each other, and that means a lot to the family.
Nice. Okay. All right, pass it on down.
I have a story about plates also. My parents, China, survived a accident on the highway. I was young and wasn't quite aware of what was happening, but we were moving from New Jersey back to South Dakota, and the china was packed in a little trailer, like a little U-Haul that we were pulling behind us. So 4 young kids in a car and a trailer full of stuff. The wheel came off the trailer and it rolled into the ditch beside us. And my mom was just sick, you know, thinking what happened to the china. She packed it really well and it survived.
Wow.
And now that same china is going to be passed on to her granddaughter, one of my nieces, and this Christmas. So that set of china is going to be passed on.
That's beautiful. Well, I think our table is set except for the silverware. Did we miss finding it? It's all right. Maybe look in the chairs in front of you in the little hidey spot. In the meantime, our table is set. That's all right. We're not actually, oh, see, there we go. Oh, and see, I have an apron with it too. Perfect. Okay. Last things for the table. You want to put those around and then hide that. Well, we're getting ready for a meal. And before we do the meal, I thought we would do a little prayer, but we're going to do a body prayer. If you want to stand up with me, you can. If you want to do it from sitting, you can do that too. I'm going to go through it twice. The first time I'm going to give you kind of a maybe what you might think these symbols mean, but they can mean whatever you want them to because we're going to do it silently a second time, and you can imagine whatever you want to. That's the point of a body prayer. So we start by lifting our hands up, and for me, this is like receiving the energy of the sun, the energy of the spirits between us, whatever's good and life-giving, and then we receive it. I like to kind of look at it first. What am I receiving? And then I give it to my heart. Hold it there. Take it in. Just receive. Take a deep breath. And then when you've had enough of receiving, you can scatter it like seeds. And then come back to the beginning. So we'll do it just blessings. You can remain standing while we do this little communion of Thanksgiving. So we will begin this communion with a litany, and every phrase read by me or Melanie, we'll ask you to respond, "We give thanks this day." So let's practice that. We give thanks this day. Perfect. For our community gathered here, for the Spirit that called us together and drew us to this place.
We give thanks this day. For moments we have shared with each other, for times when we have reached out across barriers of distance and fear, for times when others have reached out to us, for moments when we have discovered another along our path. We give thanks this day.
For this community of celebration and growth, introspection and solitude, and for those moments of that peace which passes all understanding.
We give thanks this day. For our gathering together out of distant places, for our weaving together out of many separate selves this hour of celebration and worship. We give thanks this day.
For the blessing of food, a need shared by everyone, rich or poor, young or old, and all points in between.
We give thanks this day. For the abundance of that food, which brings with it the promise of the hungry being fed. We have enough to feed all who are hungry if we decide to. So for the promise of the justice we shall continue to work to create, we give thanks this day.
We call this a communion, but in this space, communion simply refers to a sharing or exchange, especially when the exchange is on a spiritual level and isn't a specifically Christian ritual. Today, our communion is a shared blessing of community and care, a ritual to remind us that just being together can be a sacred act. You don't have to believe in anything more than that to participate. We have different kinds of cornbread, and I believe there are labels down there for vegan and gluten-free. Somebody's looking at the table, confirm that that is so. Okay. So I'm going to invite you to come down the middle aisle, come across, and go back that way. And so if you're already like on this side, just go all the way around the back and down the middle so that we're not bumping into each other. There's not a lot of space up front here. And while we're doing that, we'll have some singing, and Melanie and I will help you receive your communion. If you want us to bring it to you, we'll do that at the end. We'll send somebody around with some portions to do that. So if you're not needing to move around, we'll come to you. Good? Down the middle aisle, this way, back. Back row first. That's right, back row first. Does anyone need to have some brought to them? Well, today is a very special Sunday. We call it Recognition Sunday, and I'd like to invite Carl to come forward and tell you more about that.
Am I okay here? Thank you very much. My name is Carl Anderson, he, him, and I am here today as chair of the Special Funds Committee. My fellow committee members are Joanne McGrath, Ann Schneider, Kama White, and Chris Sarr. And each year we recognize people who, or a person or people who have had a history of service to our congregation and who have also made a significant impact. Do we have that slide, Ryan? There we go. So the slide above shows a list of past recipients, many of whom are here today. And this year we add to that list Lynn DeMuth and Beth Wyman, who are up here with me. So Lynn and Beth have a history of support for our music program, and most recently have led the program through COVID and changes in staffing to make sure that music has remained a presence in our spiritual lives. And you can tell just by today how important that is in our life here. As part of the recognition, we solicit donations to the endowment fund, which we manage to honor our recipients. So far, donations have reached over $5,000. And show the appreciation the congregation has for their efforts. There's a card outside on the special funds table at our volunteer fair that I hope you will sign and say thank you to them. And we also have a chocolate cake in honor of today, which may be more important. We also give small gifts to our recipients, and we have one for Beth, and then Lynn has asked that her gift money be donated to iHelp, so we're going to do that. And now I wanted to give Lynn and Beth a couple minutes to share with you.
There we go. First, allow me to thank the Special Funds Committee for this honor. I look at the list of those honored before me and feel it a great privilege to be counted among them. Second, I would like to acknowledge the trust that members of this congregation have given to me for more than 30 years by allowing me to teach your kids, electing me to office, supporting my service and leadership on committees, giving me the opportunity to lead music and worship, and in 1,000 other ways. Speaking of music, let's please acknowledge and celebrate the volunteer musicians who do so much to bring joy and beauty to our Sunday services. Would you please rise if you're a musician? There's some out in the congregation. Some of our musicians have been with us for many years, some only for a few months, so that's exciting. And finally, dang, rats. And certainly not least, I want to thank my husband, Duke, who's here today. Some of you know that we met here at VUU. Some of you don't, apparently. For more than 25 years, he has been my best friend and my support. For putting up with the meetings and the rehearsals and the projects. For listening to my mumbling and my grumbling, and maybe every now and then a little rant. For giving advice, but only when I asked for it. for spending part of one summer many years ago helping me teach VUU's first graders, and how I talked him into that, I will never know. And for calling out, "Sing like a nightingale," when I leave the house on a Sunday morning. Thank you. You are my rock and my blessing.
Okay, this is where I'm comfortable. So, thank you so very much for choosing me to be part of the 2025 Volunteer Recognition Sunday. It truly means a lot to me to be recognized and appreciated for the efforts I've put into the congregation's music program. Your acknowledgement not only motivates me to continue, but to inspire others to get involved with music and make a difference. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be recognized among such inspiring individuals, especially Lynn and all the musicians, the choir members, the people that play bells, the people that come up and sing, who play guitar, who play 14 different instruments depending on the Sunday. Without you, our music program wouldn't be so wonderful. So, we hope that all of the people that have been volunteering their time and effort continue to volunteer and enhance our music program. It encourages me to keep volunteering, to learn more, to find new ways to support our congregation. And, don't want to leave you out, my husband Jay, who again puts up with all the rehearsals, all the meetings, and he's coming to sing in our choir to help fill out the bass section. So once again, I thank you for including me in this meaningful event. I look forward to continuing our journey of service and making more positive impacts together. Your support and recognition means the world to me, with heartfelt gratitude.
All right, thank you to Lynn and Beth once again.
Love something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many, they'll roll all over the floor. More love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more.
Well, we are in the midst of our annual pledge campaign, and you may have seen the theme, Transforming Hearts, Opening Minds, and Nurturing Spirits. It's off to a great start with 50 people attending cottage meetings in the first week. Yeah, and 28 pledges already made. And those who attended had a positive experience, with some winter visitors saying that they appreciated the open-heartedness and warm welcome they received. A member who hadn't come for a while spoke of how good it felt to reconnect. So don't miss out. There are still slots available to sign up for a cottage meeting. Today after service, you can do that. And during the offering today, we have a special video highlighting one of our newer members, Brian Porter, and why he gives to sustain VUU. Will the ushers please come forward?
Brian Porter, and I've been a member here of Valley UU since April of 25. So fairly new, but I am a 27-year Unitarian Universalist, I should say. So the way I came to Unitarian Universalism was part of a peace group that held something up at Paradise Valley UU back in probably the mid-'80s, and started to learn about Unitarian Universalists. I went to the meeting and never went back to that church until about 1996, after I had moved back to Indiana and went through a couple of years of really bad life things. Lost my mother, my wife had a miscarriage, she lost a grandmother, and we were just kind of broken and lost with 3 little kids and looking for a place where we could fit in. We found a community in Indiana. So after living there for 20 plus years and moving out here, I was very excited to find Valley UU as a place where we could call our next Unitarian Universalist home. This particular faith means so much to me. It's helped me grow as a man, as a human being, and somebody where we talk about our values of transforming our hearts, opening our minds, and also nurturing our spirits, our human spirit. I'm an atheist. Atheists don't go to church a whole lot, but I do because I love Unitarian Universalism and what it's done for me. So as we go around and ask you during this pledge drive to contribute to the church the best you can, take everything into account about what this church means to you, what the congregation means to you, whether it's the worship services, whether it's the music, whether it's just being a part of a community of people that are of like mind or similar mind. Think hard and do what you can to make Valley UU your home, and with a generous pledge, we will thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you for this community. You're all wonderful.
Money's candy and we like to use it. Love is better if you don't refuse it. It's a treasure and you'll never lose it unless you lock up your door. Or love something if you give it away. Give it away, give it away. Love something if you give it away. You end up having more.
The wheel of the year has turned again. Once more, the Thanksgiving season has arrived. How shall we sing our song of gratitude now? For what shall we give thanks?
For this moment,
For friends near and far,
for our breath,
for love,
for courage and clarity,
for strength,
for delight,
for laughter,
for beauty,
for the tables round which we gather,
for the food we enjoy with friends, seasoned with love and memory,
for the sun and moon and stars in the sky,
for the trees who have seen so much and still stand proud, stretching themselves to the sky,
for the bright voices of children,
for the wisdom of elders,
for actions that bless the world,
for hard work that makes a difference,
for music and art and celebration,
for generosity,
for compassion,
for endurance,
for joy.
for hope.
For all these things we give thanks.
All right.
This is a new one from a justice handbook, and it's called For Everyone Born. So all the lyrics are up. We'd love for you to join us if you're able to stand.
For everyone born, a place at the table. For everyone born, clean water and bread. A shelter, a place, a safe place for growing. For everyone born, a star overhead. And God will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, God will delight when we are creators of justice. Justice and joy. For king or restraint, a place at the table, tender and queer in one single tree, engaging each gift and blessing and covenant. For king or restraint, a new way to be. And all will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, all will delight when we are creators of justice. Justice and joy. Regardless of age, a place at the table, a voice to be heard, a part in a song. The hands of a child in hands that are equal. At every life stage, a place to belong. And all will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, all will delight when we are creators of justice. Justice and joy. For just and unjust, a place at the table, abuser abused with need to forgive. In anger and hurt, a mindset of mercy. For just and unjust, a new way to live. And all will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, all will delight when we are creators of justice. Justice and joy. Last verse, for everyone born. For everyone born, a place at the table, to live without fear and simply to be, to work, to speak out, to witness and worship. For everyone born, the right to be free. And all will delight when we are creators of justice and joy, compassion and peace. Yes, all will delight when we are creators of justice, justice and joy.
Won't you join me in the extinguishing of our chalice with the hand motions? We are the Unitarian Universalists who put love at the center of our lives, and we extinguish our chalice As we go out into the world, let us remember to receive gifts with thankful hearts and share our gifts with open hands. Go in peace, stay for the volunteer fair, sign up to go do all the things that there are to do. Blessings.